All right, very special guest, mate. I'd love to introduce former light heavyweight world champion and 1992 US Olympian, Montell Griffin. Welcome to a ringside seat with Tassie, mate.
What's going on, my man? What's happening? What's happening?
All good, man. Just down here in Australia, mate, doing my thing. And did you come to the 90? Was you at the 91 World Championships? Did you come?
Nah, but all the guys on the 91 team, on the US team, all told me how much fun they had, man. And I always wanted to come to Australia because of the stories they told me.
We'll make that happen one day, my friend.
Yeah. My daughter played pro ball over there one year.
Oh, true.
I couldn't make it over there.
Yeah, okay. Awesome. So, mate, obviously run us through how you got started in boxing, mate.
My father went to Johnny Coulin's boxing gym in Chicago to take my brother to teach him self-defense. He went to the gym every day. He fell in love with it. He became Johnny Coulin's helper, and he ended up buying the gym.
Okay, and you're from Chicago, correct?
Yeah. I was born and raised in Chicago. Oh,
yeah.
My God.
And
no, that's me. That's me.
Yeah. You all right? Put the light on. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, beautiful. And so obviously run us through, mate. I know you made the 92 Olympic team. Run us through a bit of your amateur career. I believe you stopped for a bit, had a bit of time off, and then you restarted again.
I learned how to box as a kid. My father passed away in 83. I was 12 years old, okay. 12 and a half, 2 months before my birthday. And my mother made me quit boxing. And I didn't do nothing for 8 years. Nothing. I didn't go to the gym. I didn't run. I didn't watch boxing. I didn't do nothing.
Wow. And what motivated you to come back?
A buddy of mine had died in 89. I went through a little depression. What happened was when my father died, I never got a chance to mourn over him because we never saw him dead. He died in Atlantic City. We all voted not to, we didn't want to see him dead. He got cremated. So when my friend died, it brought back my father's death. And it was like a double whammy. And I suffered a lot. And I went through a little depression. I got up to about 210 pounds. So when I moved to LA, I was 210 and, just in the gym every day trying to get back in shape. My goal was to make the Olympic team.
Yep. Before we touch on the Olympic team, mate, I believe that your father was very close to the great legend Muhammad Ali.
Well, Muhammad Ali lived in Woodlawn. Lived on Woodlawn in Hyde Park, and it was like 10 minutes from the gym on 63rd. So whenever he was in town, when he was training, he'd come to the gym and train.
Wow. So how was it being a young man, being able to be around the great Muhammad Ali?
I saw him on TV, so I knew he was famous. And then I saw how people react around him. But he was friends with my father. And he was just like an uncle to me. It wasn't no fame involved. I would go over his house. He would play with me. He would spend time with me. We would hang out. And that's how it was every day. It wasn't like he wasn't I didn't look at him as no famous man. Once he made himself real comfortable to me, I never looked at him as, a famous man. He was just a regular guy.
Yeah. That's unbelievable, mate. It's definitely something that most people would have loved to have had the opportunity to do. He was definitely my hero and a big reason I got into boxing as well.
Well, I just tell everybody when they ask me about Muhammad Ali, I tell them Muhammad Ali lost 3.5 years of his prime, and we never saw the best Muhammad Ali. So I don't even judge his boxing career. I just think he's the greatest man to walk this earth.
Oh, I agree as a person. I totally agree, mate. All right, mate. So you make the 92 Olympics. You beat. You you fought, was it Williams? You had a box off with him?
Yeah, we fought 4 times. I actually beat him all 4 times, but I didn't get the first 2 decisions. He told me I beat him the first time. You know what I'm saying? He was questioning the second fight. But you know, I got a chance to fight him again in the box office. They actually picked the man who I beat to go to box off, but I just so happened that my sponsor was a lawyer. He sued him and won. So I had to beat the guy again, and then I went to the box office. So it was crazy. It was like the first time ever in history how it happened.
Yeah, it's always political in amateur boxing, unfortunately. So you made Barcelona. Obviously, how was that, mate? Obviously been over there and being over there. The dream team was there. Jordan, everyone, mate. Tell me the experience of being in the village.
But it was the greatest event of my life. You gotta understand, man. I didn't box for 8 years. I boxed for a year, and I had 30 amateur fights, and I made the Olympic team. So it was just like a dream. So I went there and I met the dream team. I didn't meet Jordan or Bird, but I met Magic and Pippen and Ewan and Carl Malone, John Stockton. I think David Robinson was around. So it was cool. It was a great event, man. It was the greatest experience of my life. But you know what I'm saying? That ended up ending bad also. I beat the world champion, Torsten Meyer. I cut his eye open. I beat the shit out of that boy. And I ain't get the decision. So, you know, it still bothers me to this day, but it is what it is.
He was the German, correct? Yeah.
Yeah, I cut his eye open. The fight should have been stopped.
Yeah. There's always amateur boxing, mate. There's always been, unfortunately, plenty of rip-offs. Unfortunately, mate.
Yeah.
So obviously you turned pro. Was there much interest, like in promote? Like, do you have any people try and sign you after the Olympics? Promoters?
No, nobody really. Lou Duva tried to sign. Lou Duva and Shelly Finkel tried to sign me. Jackie Callan and James Toney tried to sign me. But as far as promotion, I never really got no promotion deal until I beat James Toney.
Yeah, well, before we
the second time, I didn't get no real promotion deal until I beat him the second time.
Yeah. Well, run me through. So obviously, you turned pro. Obviously, you won. Obviously, your early fight. Before you fought James, who was probably your best opponent before you fought James on the way up? Was it David Vetter, or who would have been?
Well, David Vetter he fought Virgil Hill for the title, so he was a tough guy. It was a real good fight, but Ray Lathan, well, the David Vetter fight and not making no excuses, but my son was born when I fought David Vetter, and I didn't get to camp on time, so I wasn't really 100%. So I was happy how I hurt him early, and I shot my load, and I was tired. So just going to distance, I think it was 10 or 12 rounds, 10 rounds, whatever. I went to distance with him. I was impressed with myself because I wasn't in no shape. So I beat him, and then when I beat Ray Lathan, I knew I was ready for anybody because he was the hardest puncher who ever hit me in my life, and that was a tough ass fight. So after that, I knew I was ready.
So run me through the first when you signed the fight, James Toney. Obviously, one of the biggest names, especially in that era. Lights out. Run me through your thought process going into that fight and about the fight.
I remember like it was yesterday. I got a phone call from my manager, and he said, "I just need to ask you one question." He said, "Can you beat James Toney?" And the first thing I thought to myself, I said, "Well, I sparred him in '92, and it was pretty much even. He didn't do nothing to me. I ain't do nothing to him." And I figured 3 years later, I knew I was a better fighter, but I knew he didn't get no better because he was a 2-time world champ with 48 fights when I fought him. So I knew he didn't get no better. So I said, you know what? I think I could beat him. So I said I could beat him. And he said, I think the kid from Michigan, I forgot his name, big, like a 6'3", 6'4", light heavyweight, he's supposed to fight him. And I guess the fight pulled something happened. Fight got canceled, and my lawyer, my manager called me and said there was 60,000 on the table, and I said, well, Leanza Barber was supposed to fight James, and I guess
remember
it
him.
didn't fall out.
Yeah,
It fell out, and my manager said, well, they was gonna get him 60,000. I said, well, tell him give me 100 and I'll take it.
Yep.
And 10 minutes later, he called me back, and HBO accepted it. So it was cool. So I kind of got mad because I was like, shit, I should have asked for more. Shit, they called me back in 10 minutes.
Wow.
That's when I knew it was always more money on the table.
Yeah. I can't, but thanks for sharing that, man, because, like, I can't believe back if James Toney, especially after everything he'd done, and you're only 100 grand to fight him back then. Like, I don't think a lot of people understand that unless you really get to the certain, the money's not that great. I mean, that's really, you should have been getting a couple of mil to be fighting James Toney.
Well, in '92, 100,000 wasn't bad.
Yeah,
you know
okay.
The most I had made was 25,000.
Okay.
I made 25,000 when I beat Ray Lathan in the Budweiser Championship, and my next fight was for 100,000. So I'm like, okay, we rolling now.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I guess that makes a difference to timing and that. So run me through the fight, mate. Yeah.
What happened was the first 3 rounds I was boxing them, and because I had got so much better, the fight was getting easy. It was too easy to me, and I got a little comfortable. And Eddie Fuss said, "Don't throw a right hand when I come back without a left hook." I threw a right hand, and James Toney caught me with a counter right hand, and I danced around a little bit, but I ain't go down. And then after that, it woke me back up, and I got back to the game plan.
Yeah.
But I went against what the coach said.
The first win was a majority decision.
It was a majority decision, but I knocked James down. I hit him, and he fell down. He fell back, and the ropes kept him up. It was the same thing Roy Jones did to him, but Roy got credit with a knockdown. I did.
Yeah.
So if I get that knockdown, the first fight would have been unanimous.
Yeah. So a few more fights on, and you get a rematch. Was you confident going into the rematch?
Well, I was so confident because I felt like I never got no respect in boxing. I had beat him already. I beat James Toney with 14 pro fights. And everybody said it was a fluke and this, that, and everything. So to me, I didn't care that I beat him before. It was the fight never even happened. The second fight, I trained even harder. I went in there and I beat him easier the second time. The first fight, I out-hustled him. The second fight, I out-skilled him. There's a difference.
Yes.
The first fight, I just out-hustled him. I won all 3 rounds, the last 3 rounds on all 3 scorecards. And the second fight, I just out-hustled him. I mean, I out-skilled him. I beat him with his own game.
I guess it makes it look good for your favor because James went on and still had a great career after those losses to you. Like he went on, cruiserweight, he beat Jurov, he went up to heavyweight, beat Holyfield. I mean, he still had a good career.
John Ruiz.
Yep.
He beat John Ruiz. He knocked out Evander Holyfield. He ain't beat him, he knocked him out.
Yeah, the win against Jurov.
James Toney's a dinosaur. He's a great fighter. Got one of the best. He got top 10 of one of the best top 10 chins in history. Great fighter. He was my favorite fighter. He was my idol. And I got a chance to fight him. I beat him twice. So, like, every time I see James, I say, man, you my man. I love you. And I always break the ice. He smile and we cool. But, I know it bothered him that he lost to me because he was going to be my manager. I stayed at his house for like a week. We was cool. We was friends. But after we sparred, I said, man, I'm just as good as this guy now. And he's a superstar. I said, I might have to wait my time in line. You know what I'm saying? So I just I didn't. I changed my mind about signing, and I'm glad I did.
I've had James on the show. Yeah, no, he's a cool guy.
I love James Toney. I love him to death.
Yeah. So let's run through after that. You fight Roy Jones Jr. run me through the negotiation for the fight and run me through the fight.
I was in Yorktown Mall with my wife, walking around. My manager called me, said, "Man, it's time." I said, "What you mean?" He said, "We got the Roy Jones fighting." And I'm like, "For real?" I'm like, "How much?" He said, $850. And that, at that time, I was 27 years old. The most money I ever made in my life. I made 500 the second fight with James. Pretty good, decent price. Like I said, it was 92, man. Now I probably would have made 15, 20, 25 million, but it's evolution, it's time, it's life. True. It is what it is. But I went to camp. I just felt, man, I had a great camp. I felt good. At that time, they said Roy Jones the greatest fighter in history. He had never lost a round. Nobody could touch him and everything. And I exposed him. And I was beating him. I frustrated him, and he fouled me because he didn't want to fight no more. So it is what it is, man. But I'm thankful that he gave me the opportunity, and I'm gonna be tied to him for the rest of my life. He was number one pound for pound in the world. I hit him more than any fight ever in history, and I just showed how great I was. I had only fought 6 years when I fought Roy Jones, and I was only pro for 4 of them.
Yeah. No, he's insane, mate. Well, he was definitely my favourite fighter growing up, and and I had him on recently as well. We spoke about you, and obviously, only had great words to say about you, and obviously the fact that you're in Chicago and you help a lot of young boxers now too, and he only had great words to say about you.
Yeah, I'm cool with you. I bugged the shit out of Roy Jones. Whenever I got a question, whenever I text him, I ask him questions. I ask him to FaceTime because, like I said, so many people love Roy Jones. All my friends love Roy Jones. So when we get around, he FaceTime me. He call and talk to all of the guys. So it's cool, man. Like I said, it's we shared the ring together, so we bonded for life.
Yeah. Obviously, the rematch. Well, first of all, like, how was it? How was it after the first fight, becoming world champion? Regardless of the way it ended, but having the win over Roy Jones, did it change your life at all? Did you?
Well, you know what? After the fight, I remember I was in a limo with my wife going back to the hotel, and I just said, man, I was like, man, I didn't want to win like this. I said, man, I was beating them fair and square. I was like, man, it was bothering me. And the WA convention was going on at the same time in Atlantic City. And I went to the WA convention, and every fighter walked up to me and said, bro, fuck what anybody say, man. You beat him. You won. And he did that for a reason. Like, you won. And Mills Lane told me that. Nate Miller, cruiserweight champ, Nate Miller told me that. And after that, I felt a little different about myself.
Yeah.
So after that, I was proud of myself. I know I did something special. And I never got no credit for nothing about James, Toney, or Roy Jones, or making the Olympics or whatever. But I think what I did in boxing, I did it so easy that people it was nothing to them. But if you just use your head and think, a kid took off 8 years, fought a year and a half, made the Olympics, turned pro, fought pro 2 years, beat James Toney. I did shit in boxing that nobody did in history. There's nobody in boxing history made an Olympic team with 30 fights and beat a Hall of Famer with 14 fights. Nobody. I don't care who you could. Nobody in boxing history did that.
Mate, it's unbelievable.
I boxed 4 years. 4 years. Nobody did that in boxing history.
Yeah. No, it's definitely, mate, a great thing, mate. Like you said, it's limited fights. To do what you've done is incredible. Run me through the rematch, as in, what was the purse for the rematch? Did it obviously go up a lot?
I had $2 million, but I got a fight. Eddie Fletcher got me a fight with Steve Collins in Ireland for $2 million. So I thought fighting Roy, I should have made more, and I thought we should have milked it. We should have waited. You know what I'm saying? That's how I know that my promoter was in on the bullshit. We had other fights. We didn't need Roy Jones. You know what I'm saying? We could have gave the belt up, had 4-5 fights, and fought for $10 million. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that's how I know Panos, my promoter in London, Panos Iliades, he fucked me and stabbed me in the back. He rushed me and back to make that rematch. And I talked to Roy Jones about it. Everybody who was at the fight saw it. Grant Elvis Phillips, he was there. They rushed me. I didn't warm up 5 minutes for that fight. It was a setup. It is what it is. I talked to Roy Jones about it. He admitted what happened, but he said he ain't had nothing to do with it. But it's over now. Ain't nothing I can do about it. It's life. But that's what happened, and it's over.
Of course, mate. Moving on, mate. You had some wins over Randall Yonka. And obviously, you went up, you fought. What happened with Eric Harding? Was a split decision loss?
Man, that was one of the worst decisions in boxing. Watch the fight, man. I played with him. But I'm gonna say this. I fought Eric Harding and Rico Hoy. Those was two of the easiest fights I ever had in my career, and I lost both of them. Watch them. Just watch them. They didn't hit me with nothing. Eric Harding ran the whole fight. But I found out what happened. Derek Harmon was number one. They were trying to get me out the way. So they had Eric Harding. No, this had nothing to do with it. They was trying to. I was trying to get a rematch with Roy Jones. They let Eric Harding win. That's how he got the fight because they didn't want me to win. And me and Dan Goosen talked about it.
Yeah.
Before he passed away, when I signed with Dan Goosen, he said, "Man, you wasn't my fighter. It wasn't my job to protect you." And then when I signed with him, you know what I'm saying? We went past that, but boxing is a dirty game. I got fucked out of my whole career. The Olympics, second Roy Jones fight, Eric Harding, Rico Hoy, just over and over and over, man. Just it's sad, but I ain't got to cry or complain. Just watch the fights. If you watch the fights, you'll see with your own eyes.
No, well, definitely. And you fought. You got a win over Derek Harmon. He was a good fighter. He obviously fought Roy Jones Jr. as well.
Derek Harmon. I owe Derek Harmon. Derek Harmon was my friend. I brought Derek Harmon to Vegas when I fought Ray Lathan. He moved there. He ended up being the number one light heavyweight in the world. And he didn't have to fight me, but he did. I was number 3. He was number 1. And I took his number 1. I think they moved me up to number 2. I had to fight one more fight, and then I fought for the world title. So Derek Harmon did something that he didn't have to do. And, he didn't have to fight me. But he did, I beat him. And so I got back on the scene.
Yep. And run me through the fight of Antonio Tarver.
Who?
Tarver.
Oh, watch the fight. He hit me in the back of the head in the first round. I was knocked out. I had a concussion in the first round. And so I remember getting hit in the back of the head. I told the referee, I said, man, he hit me in the back of the head. When I walked back to the corner, the ring card girl had round number 6. This was the first round.
Wow.
So 5 rounds went by, and I don't even remember. It was round number 6, round number 9, and round number 11. That's all I remember in the fight. And I went home, and my wife woke me up. I was in the bathroom. I was on the floor. I had passed out. I went to the doctor and said I had a concussion. So I fought that man with 11 rounds with a concussion. He couldn't knock me out. So I'm happy about myself.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, wow. And after that, so you kept fighting, obviously, mate. You had some, you saw some wins. You obviously, later on, you fought a guy I looked after in Australia once, Ross Thompson. He came down to Spark Costa Zoo in Sydney many years ago.
Yeah, I know. Ross was at the 91 World Championships too.
Yeah, he was.
But
yeah.
Ross was my man. All through amateur, he was my man. When Bobby Hicks called me and said he wanted to fight me, I got pissed off. So the contract weight was 178. I'm in shape and everything. Bobby Hicks called me and said, well, Ross is a little overweight, but I messed up. I shouldn't have dried out. I dried out. I made 178 contract weight. Ross came in at 202. The only reason I took the fight is because I was going to become a Cook County sheriff, and I knew I wasn't going to be able to fight no more. I mean, no, when you got to go to the training, the trainer was going to start, so I was like, man, let me go and get this fight out the way. I knew he couldn't beat me, and The man fought for 3 rounds. He came in at 202. I was 178. I had to sign over a waiver about my life if in case like I got killed because he was so much bigger than me. But I still took the fight. And man, the man fought for 3 rounds. I won the fight, man. It was crazy. It just show you how dirty boxing is and corrupt. I fought him in Indiana. Indiana, one of the most racist towns in America, and they robbed the fuck out of me and called it a draw. It's sad as fuck. He fought 3 rounds.
It was in his day. He was all right, was he? He fought Vargas, and that he was pretty decent in the day.
Well, you know, at welterweight, like, well, you know, he went up in weight and everything, but like I said, he came in at 202. I was 178. You know what I'm saying? I still took the fight.
Run me through, mate. There's a massive thing I'm interested in. Training with the great Eddie Futch. I mean, not many can say they got the train under his regard as one of the greatest trainers of all time. Run me through your time with Eddie.
Being with Eddie Futch, well, okay. I gotta break it down to be honest with you. It was Eddie Futch, Theo Torrance, Hedgeman Lewis, Kenny Kroom, and my brother Amasa. So I was with Futch, but he had a hell of a team, and I learned from so much from all of them. When Eddie Futch had Riddick Bowe, Mike McCallum, and Wayne McCullough, they was more hot than me. So I spent a lot of time with Theo Torrance, and we worked out real good, and you know we clicked, and that Theo was my man. But being with Eddie Futch was just great as far as experience. I knew, you know, we would argue every day about Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier. You know, so we had a great relationship, and yeah, you know what I'm saying. The thing about Eddie Futch was confidence. Being around them made me, just being around them in the dressing room, in the gym, they were so confident. They was more confident than me. They acted like they knew I was gonna win, and it just rubbed off, and it just made me confident.
Yeah, well, I mean, he goes back to like the days of, wasn't he around? Was it Joe Lewis or Ray Robertson? Joe looked like he was.
Joe. He was in. He said he sparred Joe. He said he sparred Ray Robertson, but he was Joe Frazier's trainer.
Yeah, he was Joe Frazier's trainer. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, Larry Holmes, Joe Frazier. Worked with a lot of great fighters. So just being around him, man, I picked his brain, asked him a lot of questions, and I just gathered everything I could from him.
What modern day fighters? Who do you like at the moment? That's currently fighting. Like,
I love boxing. Boxing is in a great state. Bud, Crawford, Usyk, Canelo, Inoue, Tank Davis, Roach. It's just some great fighters, man. I love the game, and it's in a good position.
100%. Bud Crawford versus Canelo. I believe that Bud can do it. I really do.
I mean, I want to see the fight. That's all I'm gonna say, man. I'm gonna say that I think Canelo gonna be a little bit too big for him, but I'm gonna say this: if Bud pulls this off, he'll be the greatest fighter in history. He'll be undisputed in 3 different weight classes. So, I think I'm not gonna lie. I think Canelo should win, but if he pull it off, he's the greatest ever.
No, it's unbelievable. In the light heavyweight division, how would you with Bivol and Beterbiev and guys like that in division, if you was fighting now, how do you shape up against them guys?
Well, I mean, Beterbiev to me is another Ray Lathan. I already fought a guy who could punch and kill people, so I think my boxing skills will be a little bit too much for him. But Bivol will give me a lot of problems because he's tall. He can fight just like me, but he's taller and longer, so he'll give me a lot of problems. I believe in evolution. I know that everything gets better, so you know what I'm saying. It don't bother me to say that because we'll never fight. So I fought and I retired in 2011. I turned pro in 93. This 25. These fighters are on another level, man. They more skilled. This all if you got old guys who talking about Ray Leonard and Hearns and all them guys. This is all I'm gonna say. If you fight, if you watch the Roach Tank fight, watch the Roach Tank fight. That's one of the most skillful fights that we've ever seen in history. They're on a whole nother level from guys 20, 30 years ago. Watch that fight.
Yeah, I did. It was a good
fight. They were countering counter shots.
Yeah.
A guy would counter another guy, he would counter him.
Mm.
It was some of the greatest boxing I've ever seen in my life.
It was a good fight. Both great fighters. Do you like Tank?
Guys are more skilled now.
Do you like Tank?
I love Tank. But I know for a fact Tank is satisfied. He did what he wanted to do, and he's done. He don't want to fight tough no more. He don't want to fight those fights no more. So why fight Roach for $10 million when you can make $100 million with Jake Paul? It don't make sense to me.
Yeah.
For anybody to say boxing is dead and that's fucked up, they stupid. Because if they was in the same position, they'd do it.
I know, I agree. And what did you think of the Floyd Mayweather era?
Oh, I was around Floyd when he was 16 years old. I spent a lot of time with him. I trained with him at Top Rank. I trained with him at Nevada Partners. I watched Floyd. I've been to about 5 or 6, 7 Floyd fights. He was my man. I got mad respect for him. But somebody calls him the greatest fighter ever. I don't have nothing, no problem with that. He got the biggest gate. He made the most money. He beat the most world champs. And shit, ain't nothing else to talk about.
Yeah. And I definitely had an amazing career. And before we go, mate, you said you didn't meet Michael Jordan at the Olympics, but you have met, in Chicago. You have met Michael Jordan.
No, I was in New Orleans in camp with Riddick Bowe. And Michael Jordan was in town for a golf tournament. And I told Riddick Bowe, I said, man, I got to go meet Michael Jordan. You got to go. He said, man, I ain't going. He said, just tell him you with me. And I told the crew I was at Riddick Bowe camp. They took me upstairs to VIP. I was in camp training for a fight. I went to the club. I put on gaiters, Versace. I got dressed up. My trainer said, Theo Torrance said, go to that bar, meet that man, and bring your ass home because we getting up at 6 and run. I said, okay. I got dressed. We got in the car. I went upstairs to VIP. I met Michael Jordan. He hugged me. It was a beautiful thing. I walked downstairs to call my wife. Moses Malone walked in the bathroom and spoke to me. I went home, took my clothes off, went to sleep, got up and ran the next day, and that's what happened.
That's awesome, bro. Yeah, wow. Yeah, two of the best from Chicago.
I don't get no love like Michael Jordan, but you know what I'm saying? I understand what you're saying. He's the greatest basketball player ever played. I'm the greatest boxer that ever boxed here. So yeah, you can say that.
And you currently work with some kids, amateur boxers?
I have a boxing gym here in Chicago, but I'm not getting no support from the city. It's really hard to keep it open. I got a lot of people not paying dues and robbing me and everything. So I'm kind of getting tired of boxing, man. It just let me down, man. Just boxing didn't give me what I gave to the game.
They should be getting right behind it, given all the crime and the youth in Chicago.
Hey, I had a gym for 7.5 years. I didn't get no support from the city, but it is what it is.
Yeah, no, that's tough, mate. But yeah, well, listen, as I said, mate, I'm a massive fan of your career. I really appreciate your time, Montell. As I said, the 90s was a great era of boxing, and yeah, mate, people can't take from you what you achieved in your career, and it's just an honor to have you as a guest on Ringside Seat with Tazzy.
I appreciate it, man. When you get done with everything, send me a copy, man.
I will, brother. You take care, my friend. God bless. Thank you for your time.
Hey, what time is it there? What time is it there?
Almost midday, about lunchtime.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's cool. Well, that's why the other day when I said I went to the game with my wife, I said 10 o'clock, so I figured it was gonna be not too late there. But
it was all right.
I'm gonna get down to Australia for sure. I got to see that place.
Nah, keep in touch anytime. I can do anything for you, mate. Let me know, please. I had Bud Crawford here in May. He was here for 5 days, so it was pretty cool.
I beat the Australian champ in the Canada Cup in '92. I can't remember his name, but he was I beat a kid from Australia my first fight.
Was it Rick Temperi?
Yeah, that's what I fought. Yeah, I beat him.
Yeah, yeah, because
I beat him at the Canada Cup.
Yeah, because he was he was the
Was
92.
he a short little stocky guy?
Yeah, stocky
Was he short and
Italian.
stocky? Yeah,
stock.
yeah. Man, I beat the shit out of him.
yeah, no, 1992. He was the Olympic rep for Australia. Rick the Rock Temperi. Yeah, he's a good guy. Yeah. Yeah, cool.
All right, man. But much love, bro.
Hey, much love, man. Take care. God bless. See you, my man.
All right, take care. Thanks.